everybody, it's Rusty Pop with Pop Properties of Intero Real Estate Services, and what I wanted to talk about today was a trend that I'm seeing in the real estate market here, specifically in Silicon Valley. And I wouldn't say that it's having an overwhelming effect on the actual real estate market, but it's a change in behavior that I've noticed over the last couple of months. I think bears repeating because I think that a lot of people might want to emulate this strategy. What I'm seeing is that people that own 1, 2, and 3, and even 4 unit properties in the Bay Area are starting to offload those properties for better investments. And what I mean by that is, number one, those multifamily rental properties are more attractive than they've ever been. And the reason for that is it's extremely expensive to buy a house here in the Bay Area. The down payments are huge with the competition. Interest rates have made it so that monthly payments have increased significantly. And then just the sticker price of these properties is really, really high in comparison to not only the rest of the country and the rest of the world, but also in comparison to even 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. As a result, more and more families are looking for alternatives in home ownership that are not your traditional single family home. So people looking at duplexes or triplexes or even fourplexes, they're buying these properties to live in one unit and rent out the others in order to supplement their income and make the cost of home ownership spread out a little bit. The reason that's significant is there's a demand for these properties that's increased above what it used to be. Meanwhile, I think a lot of investors are seeing that these prices, as high as they are, given how low rents are in relation to those prices, they're seeing that they're not really worth the headache from an investment standpoint if you're not going to occupy them. So what I'm finding is a lot of people are deciding to take the equity that they've built, anywhere from $100,000 to $2, $3, $4 million in equity in that property, and they're transferring it to other investments. Some of them are transferring it to simple investments where they're actually earning income on an interest rate level, so 5, 6, 7% interest, which is wildly better than what they were getting in rent. And then 2, I'm seeing them reinvest that money through the 1031 exchange process, which is a tax code that allows people to move the money without paying taxes. Doing that, buying bigger properties, apartment complexes, commercial properties that have literally almost no landlord responsibility. So they're offloading the headache of dealing with the properties. They're getting bigger investments which have higher monthly returns and are safer for them. All the while, they're finding it easy to sell these properties because the market is ripe for buyers for that. So we have a couple of examples where we've done this recently. We just actually sold a duplex in Gilroy where the property value was $1.3 million. That's what a buyer paid for it. The rent on that is about $6,000 a month. So if you were to go elsewhere in the country and spend $1.3 million, you would actually be expecting to get $8,000 to $13,000 a month in rent for a property value of $1.3 million. It's only $6,000 per month. That's one of the better ratios that we have all the way down south in Gilroy. I have another example in Cupertino. There was a 3-unit property that had a lot of deferred maintenance. It probably needed a couple hundred, maybe a few hundred, even $500,000 in work to be done to it to kind of get it up to a standard level. And we were able to sell that property for almost $2.5 million and take all of that equity, because it was owned free and clear, and put that into another investment, which is absolutely no risk and returns 6.5% on an annual basis, which is literally over $8,000 a month coming in on the same money, but they're not fixing water heaters, they're not fixing heaters, they're not having to pay property taxes, and they're not having to pay insurance. To make a long story short, what I'm seeing is savvy investors who already have built equity are finding these investments good to move right now into better investments that make more sense long term, while the buyer pool is increasing for these for people who want to occupy one unit and rent out the rest. As an owner of a property like this, it might behoove you to take a look at the opportunity that you have to move that investment and take you away from being a landlord and turn you into an investor.